hey, it's Ann Dale with Dale Homestead.
And this is Sandy with Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona.
I'm Monica at Bland's Promised Land Ranch.
Hello, everyone. It is Casey over at Ormsby Farms. And can I just say, I don't like that new music for the countdown. I don't know what StreamYard is doing. I wasn't a fan. I felt like I was in an elevator. Welcome in for Tuesday night. Hey, y'all. Hey. We are so excited that you're here. Before we pass it over to Ann to say hello to everybody in the chat, I wanted to do kind of a little reveal. We've been teasing it for about a week, and we're going to be showing more pictures after Ann says hello. But we're going to kind of do like a little, maybe all of us can say 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. And then we're going to show our new little picture for our season 6, y'all. So here we go. Okay. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Left off.
Yay! Our new season is called Homestead Heroes. And yes, we look like that in person.
That's really
I just want everybody to know that.
Yeah, you recognize me anywhere. Yeah. Just recognize me anywhere. Yeah.
Right.
This is not.
Then would you say hello to everybody while we're talking about our fantasies?
I absolutely will. I love our people. Jersey Dolphins. Hey, darling. How are you? Rudy, good to see you, honey. Hello, Rebecca, touched by yarn. And Troy Sutton. We're so glad you're getting better. Penny Ortiz. Thank you, Penny, for being here. So sweet and kind to all of us. Jarrett Talks. I was on Jarrett's channel this afternoon. It was a lovely time. Thank you for having me, Jarrett. BP, glad to have you. You got your scrubbies. Woo-woo. Yay. Hi, Nan Snyder. Thank you for coming in. Cynthia Delott, all the way from the Netherlands.
I love when she says that.
Cynthia, you can't miss one of our lives because they all look forward to your name being said. Marines and Army Mom. Hey, Sugar, I met you over on Belt Loop. Good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. And then we have It All Adds Up, Lori. Thank you. She is with the Robin Hood Homestead, Bob. And they're a lovely couple. I've enjoyed meeting them. So thank you, everyone, for being here and spending some time with us. We appreciate that. So, Monica, what is it that we're going to be speaking about today? I mean, we need to find out what's happening in the world of Radio Land.
I think that you strategically asked me that because I came in like 5 minutes before we were set to go.
You did. You see how Miss Ann works, y'all? Y'all are seeing it now. She's throwing it to the late person.
Hey, Thunderstick. Well, I can tell you. I'll give you a little hint. It's still a little faith over fear. So you have the faith. Mm-hmm. And Casey's going to talk about. Well, I was just teasing you. Casey's going to talk about what we're doing tonight. So Casey, let us know what's happening. We got that season 6 thing going on.
I think we should throw it to Monica. I'm right there with you.
Okay, you know what? Monica. It's fine. I'm going to talk about faith over fear. And basically what we're going to talk about is facing the year ahead, right? And facing the rest of this year. Because it's at the end of February, guys. Literally by the next time we see you guys, it's going to be March as a group anyway, collectively, right? Yeah, and so we're already into the 3rd month of the year. And there's a lot going on. I'm going to tell you right now, there's been a lot going on in my life, even this past week. And I've had some issues and things going on. And I've had to really sit back and go, okay, how am I going to get through this? How am I going to let my fear not overwhelm me and not take over? And how am I going to sit back and take a breath? I will say, we've talked about it before, but it is so important that if you don't have a community, try to get you some. And I get it. Sometimes we're not people-y people. Sometimes we just don't really feel like we connect with people. And that's okay. Yeah. But I will say that for me, really looking ahead is making sure that I've surrounded myself with those people that are going to continue to lift me up and encourage me and help me get through these things. Not that I can just constantly dump on them, but so that I can really. Exactly. It's a give and take. And I know that I hope that everyone that I've reached out to and people that I talk to on a regular basis know that I'm here equally. If they need to call me, I'm here. The other night I had some car trouble and I really was just losing my junk. I called my friends, I texted my group and said, I need you to pray because I'm really feeling discouraged. I'm nervous. I'm really anxious. And everybody jumped in, was like, it's okay. We're praying for you. God's got you. And then the minute I got home, I was ready to have a pity party for myself. I was ready to just be like, this is a terrible evening. I'm over this mess. I'm done with it. And the minute I was getting ready to walk in to have dinner at my mother-in-law's, and I'm blessed that we had the opportunity to celebrate a family member and do those things, I get a phone call right as I'm getting ready to like full ugly cry. It's my cousin. She's like, I need you. Can you call me? I need to pray. And I'm like, of course I can. And it was immediately, it was like, I went into another mode. I went into, okay, I was having a moment and now I'm going to go into how am I going to get through this next moment? And, it was a kind of a little bit of a wake up and say, okay, stop with the pity party, get through it. And I think that that's a reminder for all of us. Sometimes we get into our heads and we try to go, we just feel bad and we feel down on ourselves. But I think that sometimes we just need to say, okay, you can do this. Mm-hmm. What's going on? Who do you have to lean on? And then how do you proceed from here?
There you go.
It was nice. It was a little rough kick in the tail for me, but it was nice to know. So Sandy, I can see you shaking your head up there. You know how this all played out, but I mean, how do you look at things like that? Do you look at things similar? How do you cope with things as they're hitting your head on?
I think that when you have fear that faces you, I think that there's two different ways to react. Say you come up to a car accident. Maybe the first things that you do are just not what you would do regularly. It's fears overwhelming you. But after those first initial few seconds, then I think you can step back. You can try to start breaking it down. Okay.
I love when you say that, breaking it down.
So most things, even if you can't control it or even predict it, you can break it down to go, okay, I can't fix this whole thing, but what can I do? I can break it down, and this, I'm going to start with the easiest things and I'm going to do it. Monica's with her vehicle. That's very stressful. You got kids in the car. Eric wasn't with her. That can be very stressful. But she went into the right mode. Okay, who can help me? Who can pray for me to make things work around? But she's calling her mechanic. She's calling Eric. She's doing the things instead of just freezing, because sometimes fear can freeze you. So I just like to break it down. And, you guys know that I like that going up onto the second balcony, the balcony above. And what would I tell my best friend? And that has just so helped me in so many different situations. I think they call it anticipatory fear. Mm-hmm. And that's a fear of the future.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that makes sense.
And right now, there's a lot of people throughout our country that are probably having that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But let's stop. Just because probably as Americans, we want to go to the worst case scenario.
Yeah,
sure.
Is that built in us?
Maybe.
Yeah,
Requirement. It's a requirement to be grumpy to work at the DMV. Why not?
But let's step back. Maybe I can't control the wider scope of the United States, what's happened, but I can do the things that I'm meant to do. I'm not meant to be a politician. I am meant to do my everyday things.
Yeah.
And God will watch over for the rest of it. What about you, Casey? Right.
Well, you just said it beautifully. One thing that I remind myself too, and I wish that other social media personalities or celebrities would listen to Sandy from Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona.
Yes.
Because when she said, I'm not a politician, listen, we're not. We are social media influencers. Don't nobody care about your political view. Nobody.
Yeah.
And keep it to yourself, because that just stresses people out even more.
Yep.
Seeing that. Like, we do a secret ballot for a reason. Nobody really needs to know. And I think a lot of that is with the fear of what will somebody think if they know this about me politically, or this spiritually, or that I like to wear a gray sock and a black sock together. I don't know. Regardless, it is the only people that you should care about is how you think of yourself and your relationship with God. And over the past 3-4 years that I have come more into my faith journey, I've had to really talk myself into stuff over the years in that aspect.
That's
Meaning, I'm trying to, and y'all know me, I'm not usually trying to make sure that I'm politically correct on my verbiage.
Trying to find the words.
But there are, don't be a fake Christian, or don't be a fake political person and say what you feel somebody else may want to hear, or what may get you more views, or what may get you more likes.
Okay, now I see where you're going, because I wasn't quite sure what.
It's okay. I promise you, I'm driving
there, but I got
we may not know where that boat's going, but the boat is being driven.
Gotcha.
But with faith over fear, stop fearing what others may think of you, and have faith that if those people are meant to be in your life, they're going to be in your life. Whether that's subscribers, friends, family, significant others, whatever it is. If you stop and be true to yourself and plan, you don't have to worry about whether you're fake or not.
That's right.
About YouTube, people can call out fake. I'm a
gosh, yeah.
I'm a head dog.
Fake in a second.
I smell it out. Ann, you're the same way. Yeah, I mean, let me tell you one thing about Ann before I pass it to Ann. I worked with Ann now on this podcast. Is it 2.5 years? 3 seasons.
Yeah.
3 seasons, right?
2.
2.5.
2.5, maybe.
And everybody's always like, okay, is Ann really that bubbly in person? And I think people are waiting for like me and Monica to be like, actually, no, she's a diva. But really, the true story is, Ann is just as genuine and real and loving and kind and wholehearted person as she is on screen. And that is why she's popular. That is why her channel has gotten so big. Same for Sandy, same for Monica. I feel that if you are your true, authentic self,
right,
going into something, people smell it out and people gravitate towards the realness. So now I'm off my soapbox. Ann, how do you feel about me blowing your head up?
Well, I want to thank you. That's very kind and sweet of you. I appreciate that. And more comments in the comment section about that, please. Yes, how sweet I am. I'm just kidding. No, but anyway, I'm too, I think I just don't have the gumption to put on any sort of false persona because it's too exhausting to be able to keep it up. And I don't have that good of a memory anymore. So I would forget, what was it that I was supposed to be behaving like? So as far as faith over fear and giving that stuff up, none of us know what's going to be going on in our country this next year. I do have quite a number of friends that are very nervous about what is going to happen with politically, financially, all these types of things. They're scared. They're worried. But what can I do about it? What can they do about it? What can we do about it right this very second?
Okay.
Absolutely nothing except for pray.
Exactly. Okay. So I wanted to say something too, coming off of what Sandy was saying. She mentioned what did she say? The anticipatory fear and how you look at things.
Right.
I think that the problem with so many people nowadays, and I'm going to step on a few toes, but I think that I can offer a solution, Casey.
Can I just say it wasn't me tonight? I just people in the chat.
Here's the thing. Ready? Here's the thing. There are so many people taught nowadays to be victims or to have, or if you're said, okay, it's a victim mentality, right? You have something going on with you. So now you have an excuse not to do X, Y, and Z, right? You know, there's a little, for instance, there's a kid that's in our co-op, sweetest kid ever. And he has some things going on with him. And so if he lashes out and does stuff, you can either see it two ways. One, well, he has some things going on, so we're going to excuse the behavior. Or, hey, he's got some things going on, so we're going to draw back for a second. We're going to pray over him before we know he gets in there, because we already know he's got some stuff going on. We're going to pray over him as a family, as a friends. We're going to pray on him. And when he does have a moment that needs to be addressed, we're going to pull him aside, address the situation, and say, hey, let's fix this and let's get back in there, buddy. That's how we need to do it as adults. Because
absolutely.
There's something going on with a lot of us, okay? There's a lot of things going on with a lot of people.
Is there anyone alive that breathes that doesn't have something going on?
Yes, but everybody's like, well, this is my thing. I have this, and I have irritable bowel, and I can't walk more than 5 minutes. Well, guess what? Everybody poops, and things happen. Like, it just...
I guess a good way of putting it, Monica. Thanks.
Yeah, you know, here's the thing. Sorry, Casey, I exposed you. No.
Don't believe her in the chat. I still can walk.
Down.
But here's the thing. We all have stuff going on. We're all having really cruddy days sometimes. And some days are better than others. And it's just one of those things, just a reminder that you can get through this moment. You can get to another moment and get to another moment. Take it one step at a time. And if you need someone to hold your hand to help you get to the bathroom faster, then grab a person and say, I need some help.
Yeah.
But just stop making excuses and start finding solutions.
And that's the big thing, is excuses. And we talk about that, not even necessarily talking politically and how our climate and everything is, but talking about not having the knowledge of teaching certain things. Hi, Mod Father.
Hello there.
Because if you always play the victim, then you're never going to have solutions to get past that fear.
If you're like, well, I can't do that because I'm this. Well, no, you probably can, actually, if you put out the effort to learn. If you're like, oh, I don't live on a bunch of acres. I can't be a gardener. I'm going to draw it back into homesteading for a minute and not get with it. If somebody's like, oh, you know, I don't know how to bake, so I can't do my own breads. Now you're throwing out excuses. You gotta try. How do you know you can't? How do you know? You've done it? Have you done it and failed? Okay, try again. Yep. We talked about that. We shot, y'all know we pre-record our episodes, and we talked about it last night. And
of the podcast.
Our podcast. One thing that I think we kept on harping back on is, even if you fail, doing it a second time, you learn something that you didn't know from the first time.
Absolutely.
And you won't fail that time. I mean, we talked about Monica having dinner rolls that turned into fireballs.
Flames.
And we had talked about, you know, a while back, Anne that grew 4,000 tomato plants.
Yeah. I guess I planted every seed.
Sandy never has any failures, but...
But
it's many things that she tries.
Anne would have stopped it then and said, listen, I did it. I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. Then she wouldn't be where she is. You have to stop giving excuses for yourself because of whatever it is, whether it's a mental thing, whether it's a racial thing, whether it's a sexuality thing, whether it's a religious thing. We are all capable of learning. Now, I will say there are some that may not be too capable of learning, but we won't go into that on a live show. But all of us are capable of learning if you just put out that effort to want to learn some a different task, or to learn about what's going on politically or spiritually. Learn, do your own research. Don't believe what you hear all the time. What you hear on Instagram is not the gospel. And I say it all the time on the podcast, because I think a lot of people nowadays truly believe that what they see on X or whatever, is it Twitter? X is the thing right now, is like the thing. Or, oh no, I saw it on Facebook. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Do your research. It may be true. I'm not here to call your bluff, but do your research.
Yeah.
Take the time, don't do your research.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw somebody said that they liked our superheroes.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's Ginger.
Ginger.
Okay.
Not for nothing, Homestead. Can I be in the mood for
Ginger,
this?
don't we look exactly like our superheroes?
Okay, so which one is which? Do y'all know? I mean, honestly, the audience.
Hold on. Let me. Oh, well, one, we do have. I will show our thumbnail. I guess it's a thumbnail. Is that what it's called for a podcast cover shot?
Yes.
Well, it's our new one. Here it is.
It's our podcast art.
Homestead Heroes. That's us. But I am going to pull this up right here. Okay, can you tell who is who? All right. Chat.
Yes, you do look exactly the same, says Ginger. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll send you your check after the show. Okay.
Oh my gracious. That was wonderful. So as far as
Sandy and Green. Oh, see ya.
There you go, BP. That's right.
See?
Yeah, that's good. And
I'm gonna buy green glasses.
I think you need to. They look really good on you.
I know. I think you do need to get the green glasses.
I could see you though as the person that has those little clip-on ones that frame it out. You know, the ones that are making. Oh my gosh, I could see you doing that, like a new one all the time.
So Troy says getting over fear is easier than getting over pride.
Absolutely.
And yes. Glinda from Grace and Fire says that also applies to homesteading. You see what someone else has, and you think you have to set your goals as high. And then you feel like you're a failure because you can't do what someone on IG does. And that's exactly true. That's exactly right, Glinda. And
we just had an episode on that.
We
did.
And it will be in the podcast. We said almost those identical words of the podcast that will be coming out. And what date will that podcast be coming out there, Mr. Casey? Do you have that?
I do. It's coming out on St. Patrick's Day because we called it Being Green with Envy.
Woohoo! St. Patrick's Day.
Something about the social media something.
Being green with envy.
Shaking off the social media guilt.
Yeah. There you go. That's right.
Take it off.
That's exactly right. So maybe we should have named this particular episode Walking with Faith Through the Fear, because you do have to walk through the fear. I mean, pick up one foot and put it down on the other. Been many times that I do say when you're walking through something, going through something, and just trusting that it's going to be okay. And if not, then there's going to be a path or a way to change that comes about. But I akin myself to when I'm really going through something like big. I'm up on a piling, and then that piling starts sinking and going down in the ground. I'm going, okay, Lord, okay, Lord, okay. And I'm jumping to the next one. And just as I'm getting ready to fall, I jump to the next one. And I'm trusting that next pole is going to be there and to lift us up. So I just think that's
because
cool.
Anne, then you're staying in the present.
Yes.
And that can just make fear go away. If you can stay in the present, okay, this is what I can do today.
Right.
And then she's jumping to the next piling. This is what I'm doing the next day.
That's right.
Instead of looking way in the distance and going, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to do that. What you got to do is today.
Right.
Yeah.
And can I also just say, Jesse, because I know you're in the chat, and you posted a wonderful T-shirt last week talking about
Super Zero.
And it was great. It had a psalm on it and everything. It really was a really cool print. I think me and Sam.
Oh, here he is. Faith over fear. There's a faith over fear ring.
I need to get the ring, Jesse, because let me tell you, the T-shirt, it was printed on the back. Now, I don't know if it was supposed to be printed on the back or if Amazon made an oopie doop. But I got my shirt and it's printed on the back. So I guess people could read it as they walk away. Yeah. Like,
Right over here. Look at my back.
right. But it was a great shirt, Jesse. So I just wanted you to know that I actually clicked on your link that you put in, and you worked so hard and tirelessly putting in all of our links to all of our channels.
That's right.
I think me and Sandy both looked and were clicking on that shirt last week. So
you watch Homestead to get gardening ideas and watch Lives for Laughs. That's right, Lynette Lord.
There you go.
We do crack each other up here sometimes. That's for sure. And so what we're talking about is to not let yourself get paralyzed in all of these, anything that's going on. My goodness, trying to cook something new, trying to grow something new. If there was a saying that my father once wrote to my mother after years of divorce, which was kind of weird because they weren't going to get back together. But his saying was, if at first all possible obstacles must be overcome, nothing would ever be accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the truth, man. If you're trying to plan something and you're thinking, all right, but a year from now, it might be so and so and so and so, there's nothing you can do about that. You have to walk day to day, live in the moment. Yes, forward motion. Yes, one piling to the next. But to understand that you take it as it comes, as well as learning and playing and planning ahead.
Yeah.
Well, you're speaking about planning, and I'm not sure if we should talk about it, but I think, Casey, our first episode for season 6 drops next week, doesn't it? Oh, you're on mute.
I am. That is correct. Yes, our first episode for season 6. And if you weren't here last week, we did announce that season 6 is going to be until eternity. So it never stops.
It'll be wonderful.
And beyond.
Yes,
to infinity and beyond. That's why we're going kind of homesteady.
Yeah.
So we're going to have one every Monday for the rest of the year. Season 6 is
for the rest of our lives.
Correct. And we're shooting like it too. Y'all, this is how much we love y'all and love doing this podcast. I mean, we're burning a candle at both ends kind of thing as we are shooting 44 episodes.
44.
But we have a lot of really cool topics that we're talking about. Huh?
Yeah, we really do.
Our first one that we're talking is a little controversial. And me and Monica really enjoy controversy. Yeah. Now, Sandy and Ann, we had to, kind of like twist the arm a little bit.
We've already been there and done that. We're not even interested anymore. That's why.
But our episode is called Why Not to Be a Prepper. And I said it wrong in the episode, and I had to correct myself. I said, why not to be a homesteader when we were shooting? And tried to correct me. I was editing the episode, and I was like, oh, Case. But I think we actually have a little preview
cool
of our little first episode. And it's so funny because StreamYard, most people know that lives are done on StreamYard, has a new function that you can press, and StreamYard will, through AI, create a 1-minute reel. And the first reel that it created was a very good topic that Sandy had.
Ooh.
And Sandy was the first reel that AI created. So I'm trying to do this and now show the little reel and see if it plays with our faces.
Now, are there some weird, crazy government things? Of course there are. But not everything is that way. Sometimes it's just exactly what the news said. That's all it is. But one thing because I have some friends that are preppers, I do. And the thing that worries me is that it kind of gives them a false sense of security that I have all this food, I have all this water, I have guns. I have a pantry, I have guns myself, but there is a line that when it becomes obsession or paranoia, that's
Ooh, that's so good.
That was wonderful.
So
Those are the
good.
kind of discussions that we're going to be having.
I mean, some really intense ones, y'all. It's some great topics. You're not going to want to miss. You're not going to want to miss all of the episodes and the topics that we have coming out. And I'm trying to pop up things as I'm here. Hello to everyone that said hello.
Yeah.
But that's just a little teaser. And the next 2 episodes are a 2-part series of why not to be a prepper. And listen, I know before we sign out, because we're going to sign out here in a couple of minutes, we're not poo-pooing on prepping. We're not saying being a prepper is bad. We all 4 of us have friends that are preppers. One big thing that we are talking about is the difference between a prepper, right hand, a prepared homesteader, left hand. What are you? So we give you that to ponder on until next Tuesday when we come back. Are you a prepper? Are you a prepared homesteader?
There you go.
And why? Because we would love to hear in the chat.
Yeah.
Go and listen to our episode that comes out Monday. Come back on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time so that we can chit-chat about your thoughts. How did you think we do? How did you think the first episode went down?
That's right.
And if you're a prepper, why are you a prepper? If you're a prepared homesteader, why are you a prepared homesteader?
Yeah.
We'd love to hear it.
You can also find our podcast on Round the Hay Bale channel. It will be on Monday. And that way, if you would like to see our faces, then you can see them. Or any kind of podcast, Apple Pod, whatever all the pods are that you can find your podcast on.
Yep.
All the pods.
That's right. I'm a prepper. He's a prepper. Wouldn't you like to be a prepper too?
And I think on that note, Jesse, we thank everyone for coming in.
Yes.
And we hope to see everybody next Tuesday on Hey Y'all Hey radio show Tuesday night for Round the Hay Bale. Bye, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye, y'all. Bye.
Hey, Monica, did you know it's now even easier to listen to Round the Hay Bale podcast?
What? Really? How easy?
That's right. All you have to do is say, Alexa, play Round the Hay Bale podcast.
Playing Round the Hay Bale podcast on Apple Music.
Ooh, we're really fancy now.
Tune in to Round the Hay Bale every Monday at 9 a.m. Central Time.